We begin this afternoon in Arizona for the search for Nancy Guthrie. It's been 6 days since her apparent abduction, and Guthrie's 3 children are posting on social media, hoping to reach whoever took her. Last night, her son Cameron, a former Air Force pilot, shared this video.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
I want to bring in CBS News reporter Andres Gutierrez live for us from Arizona. Andres, investigators gave details about a ransom note yesterday. What are we learning?
Elizabeth, investigators are trying to see if this note is real or if someone is trying to take advantage of the family. The FBI says that the note was sent to several media outlets. It allegedly demanded Bitcoin. Investigators have also said that this note laid out 2 deadlines. One of them passed yesterday. A second deadline is coming up on Monday. But authorities are also being very careful about what they confirm because they do not want to compromise the case. They have also said that there has been no proof of life in this note, and they have not laid out a clear way for the family or law enforcement to communicate back with whoever allegedly sent this note. And that is why you're hearing the family go public and saying, we need you to reach out. We need to talk so we can move forward. The FBI is the agency that's taking the lead on the ransom note piece, while local investigators right now are doing the search as well as the evidence gathering that is happening at the house.
And we've been seeing, speaking of the house, Andres, we've seen the steady stream of law enforcement making multiple trips to Nancy Guthrie's home. What have investigators found while searching her property?
Well, Elizabeth, they have gathered a trove of physical and digital evidence so far. Investigators have confirmed that the blood that was found outside the front door of Nancy Guthrie's house does belong to her. This is after they conducted DNA testing. They have also tried to build a clear timeline using the technology at that house, but there is a major gap. Investigators say that the doorbell camera disconnected around 1:47 in the morning. Then software shows motion around 2:12 in the morning and possibly a person, but it was not recorded because Nancy didn't subscribe to the cloud service that would allow such recording. Then at 2:28 in the morning, investigators say the pacemaker app disconnected from her phone. The sheriff has called the lack of a doorbell camera a disappointing setback, but because they can't just simply pull up the clip and see what happened, so now they're trying to replace what they can't see by working every other angle, seeing essentially what the test results are from other DNA and fingerprints to see what that shows. They're also doing a huge review of hundreds of vehicles that were possibly there in the area during that time frame to see if anything at this point stands out during those overnight hours where she was allegedly abducted.
Andres Gutierrez, thank you so much. I want to bring in former FBI counterintelligence operative and author of the book Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime, Eric O'Neill. Eric, thank you so much for being with us. What do forensic investigators look for when tracking these ransom emails and cryptocurrency demands?
Well, the important thing to know is that you're not anonymous just because you're using cryptocurrency or because you've tried to mask your email. All of the digital trail leads clues for the FBI in particular to pursue. So there's metadata in email. You can track where the server originated and where that email bounced from. That can give you some clues. And every time the kidnappers connect through email or send another email, that's another ability for the FBI to maybe track their location, which might be why they're being silent right now. And in cryptocurrency is tasked through an open ledger. So you can see every transaction in cryptocurrency. It's in the open. And the FBI can track the movement of money in cryptocurrency. And what they try to do is find a digital wallet that belongs to an individual. And when that person tries to take the money to transfer the cryptocurrency into currency they can actually spend, that gives them an opportunity to identify the individual.
So how do you determine what tech-linked ransom material is credible and what's just scam or noise?
Well, this is very difficult. So the way you do that is by having a conversation with the kidnapper. When someone sends a ransom note, what normally happens is a dialogue is opened. So you negotiate the amount. You ask for a sign of life. That's critical here in a world of deep fakes, when so much of what we see online is not true, and when you can use AI to create anything you want. There are aspects of the case that law enforcement has withheld from the public that could be identified by the true kidnappers who have Mrs. Guthrie. They could say there's something in the house that hasn't been revealed that they might have seen, and that can be a sign of life. They could even send an image or a video of Mrs. Guthrie holding today's newspaper and say, yes, we do have her, or have her say something that only the family would know. The problem is the silence, and silence can be devastating. I can't imagine what the family is going through, because without that connection and that conversation, dialogue with the kidnappers, they have no way of knowing if their mother is even still alive.
I'm curious, how have you viewed this case? Is this how it's all played out unusual to you? Or anything stick out to you? We're now on day 6.
Everything sticks out. This case is unusual from the start. These kind of kidnappings in the United States don't really happen. They're very rare. And the reason is they have to be highly orchestrated. The criminals have to be very sophisticated. And it's pretty easy to get caught when you launch a kidnapping of a high-profile person like this. The FBI is involved. They can, like I said, track email. They can track the cryptocurrency if a payment is made, and so that makes it dangerous for the criminals. On the other side of it, the fact that they're not talking is really strange. You would think that they would want to get paid.
Sure.
So either they're running scared or something happened to Mrs. Guthrie and they can't provide that sign of life.
I'm curious if the advice you would give to the Guthrie family was to actually make that initial payment so you could possibly track where that money goes to and where it's picked up on the other side. Would that help in the investigation?
It would help. It could spark a movement. Like, for example, they could make some payment or a partial payment and see if the criminals start moving it. If criminals start moving it when money hits that wallet and they're able to track it, and that is a big if, and it relies on the sophistication of the criminals versus the adeptness of the FBI, then they could determine the individual, maybe make an arrest if the person is arrestable, which means they're in the United States or a friendly country. But it could end up that they sent money, good money after bad, and that these ransom notes are a hoax. I think in this case, what the family has to do is stay the course and hope that the criminals blink first and communicate back.
Yeah, the wait for this family has just been excruciating. Eric O'Neill, thank you so much for that insight.
Thank you for having me.